Hello guys and girls, Voices from the Dark here. Welcome back to the Champion of Cyrodiil challenge with Marina Mistfire, where we are back in the forests of Cyrodiil. Heading back to the Imperial city after a wonderful little trip in Skingrad, where we've also gotten ourselves a brand new house. We are currently heading back to the Arcane University. There are quite some things that we want to do there, and I believe I mentioned at the end of the last episode that we wanted to just delve into an Ayleid ruin, probably the one up here, to get some Welkin stones so we could do the Illusion Master Training quest. I'm going to put a pin in that for now, because instead of doing that, I would want to go back to the city and pick up the next Major Skill quest, which is going to lead me to an Ayleid ruin either way, so why do the unnecessary delve when we can just continue the Major Skill quest line and continue where we left off. Speaking of where we left off, that was back near the end of June. I'm recording this in August, so it's been a while. I was on a real recording binge last time around. I just had so much fun I couldn't stop. But in the end I decided to stop so people could actually catch up a little bit. I figured that would be for the best. Now the sign says take the road, but I don't know. Maybe we should carve our own path. Isn't that what this challenge is all about? Carving our own path? This is a really nice ruin down here, by the way. Explored it plenty of times since it's so close to the city, so I did it a lot as a kid. Wonder if I can pass by here without getting either location on the map. No. Here we go, right in the middle. There we go, super sneaky Marina. Now you might notice that there's a little bit of a difference with the lighting. I guess most of you would notice. It's probably not a thing that's so subtle that only an editor would notice it. I've actually got myself some soft boxes, so we have some more proper lighting in my room now, instead of relying on... The old lighting was the light in my roof, an extra desk lamp that I put up on my shelf and directed at me, and then also I had to get a lamp from the living room and place it right next to me so I could have some more light in the room because it was so dark. So now we have some more proper lighting. I just have to figure out how I want to tweak it and do it to get it to be where I want it to be, but so far I'm really digging it. It's just that it's very different. This note from Raminus Polis is probably just gonna stick around there for the time being. We had yellow tick in the last episode, which is why I hotkeyed the cure disease there so we could get rid of it, and looks like I remembered. Welcome back then to our shitty house, everybody! Oh yeah! There are plenty of things we want to do at the university, in fact. There are some new cool enchantments we want to make, because if we take a look at our bag, we have 4 grand souls in these black soul gems. And we can even make more. So that's very good news. I believe we're going to enchant at least 3 new items. Now we have 2 sets of items so far. We have the Champion's gear, which is fortifying our strength. It's our carry gear. Now I want to make a hood, which is going to be the Champion's hood, which is going to have a similar design to the red silk hoods. So we'll probably have to go and buy one from Rindir's Staffs, I believe, sells that. Then I would also want a Champion's necklace, so we can have a necklace that can also help us carry, because dungeon delving is going to get us so much money, so we need to be able to get as much with us as possible. Now, we also have our battlemage gear for combat. Now, of course, it's not optimal, because we would usually have 2 pieces with shield, but it just looks good, okay? So I want to make myself some gold-trimmed shoes, which is going to be battlemage shoes, because we already have the heavy lifting shoes. So that's going to be the plan at the very moment. So we need to grab a couple of things. First and foremost, we need a amulet that we can enchant. Now, we do have some really nice looking gear that we could enchant, like, for example, the amulets that we got from Arnora, but they're so unique. Same with the wrist irons, that I don't want to enchant them until I found a transcendent sigil stone with the most powerful enchant that I could possibly have before I even consider doing that. Let's do something like a gold necklace. We'll make that into the Champion's necklace. Now we just need to buy some shoes and a hood. And I don't know if there's anything more we want to do then. Maybe place away a couple of items, because we want to sell most of this either way. The stolen goods I can put away though, because I will eventually want to sell that off to Fathazolis, my man. But that's not something we can do at this very moment. We could put away a few of the keys, so I don't think we actually store them in this chest. Chest management, it bores me. Let's just instead... You know what? No. We're going to have ourselves a little bit of a rest in our bed. Last time we sleep in this bed, I think. Then we're gonna rise early in the morning and get walking to the Arcane University. It feels good to be back, and we have some exciting spells that we can make. Don't worry, it's not going to be as long of a session as it was the last time, where we were making all the spells and testing things out. First and foremost, I've been checking out some different effects, thinking about what we could do. Now, something that we could do... Oh wow, look at her. Mithridel's got himself a glass mace. We could add a new effect to our dagger. Absorb Magicka. Because if we had that effect, we could essentially strike at our enemy and get more Magicka back, as you would expect from an Absorb Magicka effect. So we can actually buy that effect at the university, and we'll consider applying that to some sort of weaponry in the future. Probably a fine steel dagger. I really like the look of the steel dagger, and the worse quality it has, the lighter it is. And also, if you have a rusty version of something, like a rusty iron, that would weigh more than regular iron, and fine iron or fine steel would then weigh less. So if we find ourselves a fine steel dagger, I think that's going to be our next weapon, and we can play around with some more effects. But for now, we just want to go and buy that effect so we have it. I've also been thinking of maybe getting myself a new healing spell, but Magicka-wise, it's just not that efficient. So instead of getting a new healing spell, we're going to make a couple of new fortify spells, because the ones we have right now are overkill. We are currently 77 restoration, meaning if we wish to get to 100 restoration, we need 23 levels. But our fortify restoration pushes us far above 100, I believe, 33 points, so we can take away 10 points there, which is going to save us a lot of Magicka. But then in return, we could boost that up to 30 seconds on self instead of 15, and it'll still be a much more reasonable spell for us to cast. Now, what was the last thing we really did for the Mages Guild? Right, ulterior motives. You know what? Before we delve into that, let's just actually go back to Raminus Pullus and complete the duty. That was one of the main reasons we went to Skingred in the first place. Hey, where's Raminus? You seen him up? Is he sleeping in? Fine, I guess 6:43 in the morning was unreasonable. Raminus? Where is that man? If he's not here yet, I'm gonna flip a table. We're actually nearing the end of the year. Hey, look at that, 27th of Evening Star, which is the same as December for us. So we're almost about to pass into a new year, around the time we hit episode 100, and I have some plans for that. Hello, Raminus. How are you doing on this fine day?
Have you been to Skingred and seen Count Hassildor?
Oh, he is quite the man. Loves punching necromancers in the face.
Saved you, did he? Well, that's a good sign.
I guess.
I must apologize. It was never the Council's intention to put you in harm's way.
Why didn't you tell me the truth?
The Count's unique nature is not public knowledge. The Council wishes to keep it that way. At the time, it was believed that there was no reason to inform you, since it was not crucial to the task you were given. For that reason, I was unable to disclose more about his true identity to you. Clearly, that judgment was in error. I apologize.
It's okay, buddy. Why was I sent to Skingred?
Archmage Travin feared that sending a high-ranking official with the guild might draw too much attention and provoke a reaction from the Count. We were also concerned that it might drive any necromancers in the area underground, making them more difficult to root out.
I see.
We simply wanted to survey the situation in Skingred. Our relationship with Hassildor is tenuous at best. The Council has agreed to keep his nature a secret, and in exchange, he occasionally provides us with useful information.
So why does Hassildor aid you?
As a vampire, the Count has few allies he can trust. He has disguised his nature from most, but cannot hide it from the Council of Mages, so he approached us with an accord. As you have seen, that agreement is under a great deal of strain lately. The Count does not agree with certain policies the Guild has established.
You protect a vampire?
It's not quite that simple. Hassildor is powerful, to be sure, but the Council does not consider him to be a threat. After all, he has ruled over Skingrad for quite some time, without incident.
So you no longer trust him?
We feared Hasseldor may have been involved with the necromancers. Thanks to your involvement, it would seem that he is not. At least, not for the moment. We will continue to monitor the situation, but I assure you, we will make no further attempts to mislead you. You have done your job admirably, and I thank you for it.
Quest complete. Ulterior motives. Does that mean I might get an advancement?
Your services to the Guild have not gone unnoticed. As of this moment, you have gained the rank of Evoker. Along with your new rank, please take this amulet. May it help keep you safe in times of danger.
The Spell Drinker amulet. That's a cool one. I don't think I should ask about rumors. There might be something interesting here.
Things in the Guild have been different since Traven was named Archmage. They're more structured, but everyone seems tense.
Don't know why I even tried. Any tasks?
Are you ready for it? If not, I understand you've been through quite a bit lately.
No, I'll just add it to my log and I'll do it whenever I feel like it.
Very well. There's a research project going on at one of the Aliad ruin sites on the eastern side of the province. Irlav Jarol is in charge of the project and is apparently in need of some help. I thought you might need a break after the things you've been exposed to lately. You can find Irlav in the Archmage's Tower.
I'll go talk to him. Varakin's secret. That is where we will go to get our Welkin stones as well.
Irlav should be waiting for you.
Irlav Schmerlov. How about we go talk to Irlav a little bit later on? Right now, I want to make some spells. We're still going to need to make a little bit of a shopping trip if we wish to get all the materials needed, but for now, let's take a little stop right here and just make a save in case something messes up. Always good to be on the safe side, especially with a game like this, but it's actually been more stable lately, believe it or not. But it's been very, very kind to me. We don't want to go here. I don't feel the lust right now. It's been very, very kind. Because I'm actually now playing it in windowed mode and using an application to run it in windowed borderless modes, which is wonderful. Let's see. Okay. Just have to remember where Gaspar is. Gaspar is the guy who's going to tell us one of the spells that I'm looking for. There are some other things that I've been considering, like buying an absorb skill, for example. That could be very useful at some points. And we need to start considering maybe doing some disintegrate armor or weapon on our enemies, or at the very least repairing their gear. So the reason we want to do that is because, well, we simply don't have enough things to repair in order to properly train our armor skills. So we need to start taking armor from the enemy to repair it, even if we do put it back. Gaspar.
A pleasure to speak with you.
Does not look like it's a pleasure to speak with me. Let me do Thornir's bargain right here, because these things can be quite expensive. There we go.
Can I interest you in some of my wares?
Perhaps. He's a novice, so I'm just gonna push him up to 96 for now. So we have disintegrate weapon, but I think that requires like 100 destructions, so that doesn't help us much. He sells some of the most powerful spells that you can get, but stuff like absorb magicka, bam, I want that. Absorb skill, we also want to buy that. Greater fortified luck, legendary life detection, shadow, silence, superior spell absorption. Let's see, I think that's good for now. Thank you.
Thank you for your patronage.
But those are just going to be some effects that are going to be quite useful for us. So, let's start with one of the more interesting spells that I wish to make. So currently we have a spell in our spell book that I'm currently trying, that I'm stalling for time so I can remember the name of it. Acrobatic Antics. So, it is essentially used so that we can move faster and jump higher. It gives you a little bit of a burst of speed and agility, essentially. Now, we have actually gotten a 75 restoration, which means that we can make a more powerful version of this. So, we're going to start with Fortify attributes, which of course is going to be speed on self. And now we can actually push this duration up to 9. I did some playtesting with this to figure out what works best. And I think this is as far as we can take it at the moment. And we're also going to fortify acrobatics because that also... No, not... I mean, athletics. That's what I meant. Yeah, so... This is going to be our travel spell. We're going to separate acrobatic antics into 2 spells. So we have one for traveling, which is going to be this spell, Traveler's Grace. And we are also going to make another acrobatic spell, but it's going to have a duration of 6 seconds instead of 1. So some very, very exciting stuff happening right now. Boom. Look at that. Yes, it requires a lot of magicka, but remember, we have a Fortify Restoration spell. This is going to be... Alright, I have to remember... Because this uses the American keyboard, despite me having a Norwegian one. So sometimes we need to hit buttons until we find out what we want. There we go. Traveler's Grace. I'm gonna go out and test this straight away. This should make traveling no problem. We have to do everything on foot. So we'll start by fortifying our restoration, even though it's an overkill, that doesn't matter. And then we need to pop Traveler's Grace. So check this out, we're already pretty fast. But check out this spell. We'll be able to get from city to city within a matter of minutes. Like we can run from Bruma to the Imperial City probably in less than 5. Look at that. But still, that doesn't actually help our jump all that much. So we're going to make a new spell specifically for the jump. That's going to be the Leap of Faith spell. So, we'll start off by first and foremost doing a feather effect on self, 100 points, and I believe I can set this up to 6 seconds. And then we're going to fortify speed and acrobatics this time around. So it's a very similar spell, but as you know, the less you have in your inventory, the faster you move. Thus, we want to add a little bit of a feather effect. 6 seconds should be good. And then we need to go and fortify our acrobatics. I just like having these things figured out in advance, so you don't have to see me mucking about in the menu trying to figure out how it works. Boom. This, I called it the Leap of Faith because, well, Assassin's Creed reference, surprise, surprise. Because it will allow us to jump from really, really high places and survive the fall once we hit the ground. Because the higher our acrobatics, the less damage we take from falling. So for example, if I was to jump down right here, I would take that much. Whoops, didn't mean to select that. That's not what I was going for. I don't know my hotkeys anymore. I would take that much damage. Now, if I was to pop, jump, and then do that, I take less damage. Now, that's not the main point of it. The main point of this spell, okay, check out a normal jump. Quite good. Check out a Leap of Faith. Excuse me, Mr. Spell. Do you feel like being recharged? So that's the issue with it, though. We have to fortify our restoration before we use them, but that's a small price to pay for what's about to come. Alright. And... Whoa! Check out this jump, though. We can jump across the world if we want to right now. With this spell and Traveler's Grace, navigating the land is going to be a breeze. So they're very good to have in our arsenal. Now we're going to remove the older spells that we won't need anymore. Are you okay? There we go. High Elves.
Hello, Evoker.
Hello. Have you heard of the High Elves? No, because they're all standing in corners looking stupid. With that taken care of, I want to also get rid of some of the lock-picking spells that we have, and instead replace them all with one simple spell. Because why have 2 spells when we can have 1? Let's get a very hard... Ooh, a very hard spell in a very wide area. No. We'll just do a simple, open, very hard lock, called a lock breaker. So there we go, now we can open everything. Even if I mess up and break all my lockpicks somehow, which makes no sense since I have the skeleton key, we have this spell. Boom. It means that we can get rid of some of the other ones that we won't need. And finally, we are going to make new Fortify, Restoration, and Destruction spells. A stronger version. So we're going to do it on self for only, I believe we only need 22 points for destruction, since that's 78. I hope my notes are correct. Then we're going to get 30 right here. So quite a decent, it's a more efficient cost. We can do a side-by-side comparison in just a bit. So fortify destruction, strong, since the other one was called light. Boom. Now check this out. The light version costs 42 magicka. This one lasts for twice as long with the same effect and costs only 2 more magicka. Ugh, wonderful. It's so good. Hitting that 75 restoration did so much for us in terms of making these spells, because restoration is arguably the most important school of magic for us. So 23 over 30 seconds on self. That's going to be fortify restoration strong. This one needs to be the right way, otherwise I'm gonna go crazy. Thank you very much. And those were the spells I wanted to make. I was considering making some other spells, like maybe some shield spells, but the ones we have are already pretty good. I was also considering some resist magic 50%, but I don't think I can get that for more than 13 seconds at a time. So it's of limited usefulness as of now. So those were really the spells that I wanted to make. Also, you can see here that the strong version costs 10 more magicka, but also lasts twice as long. So it's time to get rid of some of the older spells that we don't really want around anymore. And for that, we're going to use console commands, because there's no way to delete spells from your spellbook otherwise. This is not going to give me an advantage. In fact, it's going to give me a disadvantage, really. So, player.remove spell, we're going to start by removing Acrobatic Antics. Now, this is a custom spell that we made ourselves. You actually have to use a console command to make a save, then you have to open up that save in Notepad, and you need to do Control F to search for the spell, and then you can find the ID, because you can't just look up a custom spell on the wiki. Boom. Acrobatic Antics has been removed from Marina Mistfire. Didn't use him a whole lot, but he got some use. Now we also have the Chameleon spell. I don't think I needed that anymore because we had a different version. At least that's what I wrote down about a month ago, and so I trust myself. Okay, I just had to consult with my notes a little bit, and it looks like the next spell we're going to remove is the Ease Burden spell. It was the weakest of the feather spells, and with all the new gear that we are making, we are just not going to need it. Second up, we're going to remove Flare. It's the basic starting destruction spell, but we won't need it since we already have the fire effect worked into some of our other spells, like the Daedric Blaze finisher. We're also going to start removing the Fortify Restoration and the Fortify Destruction spells from ourselves. It's sad, but we have stronger versions of them. We're also going to get rid of Greater Life Detection, because I do believe we have Superior Life Detection, so why keep a weaker spell around when we have the magicka to cast the better ones? We're also going to get rid of Guard, because we won't need it with all the shield protection we're going to have on ourselves. We'll only need the more powerful shielding spells, and Guard was, I believe, the weakest one that we had outside of our training spell. We're also going to get rid of Minor Latch Crack, because we have a Lock Breaker. And of course, along with that, we're also going to get rid of Open Very Hard Lock. We're also going to get rid of Weakness to Shock, because we have that incorporated into the Spirit of Shock spells. And finally, we are going to get rid of the Will of Sithis. It sounds cool, but I don't need it. We already have some great spells for controlling others. Namely, Recruit Creature and Recruit Humanoids. And they work pretty well. Probably need to get updated eventually, but for now, they work fairly well. So here we go, our new beautiful list of spells. A bit more tidy, a bit more neat, and that's how we like it to be. Okay, so next up on the agenda is making ourselves some enchanted equipment. Now, we have 4 black soul gems with grand souls, but I cannot use all of them, because we're actually going to need a black soul gem for the Vermina Shrine, the Daedric Shrine quest, that's going to be on the way to doing the next Mage's Guild quest. Because I would really, really like to do Vermina Shrine. It's going to take us to a rather interesting little location. It's a fun quest, and during the quest we can also get a skill book. So I want to just make sure that I get it, so I don't ever forget doing it in case it doesn't pop up again. So That's going to be a little bit of a priority. Right now, though, we want to get to the market district. So I believe let's just walk this way, I think. Because first and foremost, we want to stop by Rindir, get another red silk hood. We also want to get some gold-trimmed shoes from Divine Elegance. Now, at Divine Elegance, they also sell something called a red velvet dress. I found it when I was playtesting and checking things out, and I gotta say, I really like the look of the red velvet dress. And I'm considering making that Marina's new casual attire. Just attire we want to have when we're strolling through town and we don't need anything special. You know, just clothes for clothes' sake, basically. Now, I believe this... You shut your face.
Hello?
I believe we just want to go straight to Rindir Staff's. Divine Elegance should be straight over there, so they are all right next to each other. Have we been at Rindir's before? I don't think so. Could break in here and steal it, but I don't think that's going to work out very well for me. Considering he has that under lock and key, so... Is that the expression under lock and key? Under lock and keep? I'm actually not sure what that is. Oh, well, seems like he doesn't mind me breaking this open. I mean, sure. He clearly has no issues with it. I'm just gonna have a look. Grand Soul Gems. They look defiled, though. And not by me, so they wouldn't be worth much to me. Alright, Rindir. It's time to get touched.
You're in Rindir's Staffs, and I'm Rindir. I sell magical staffs. Imagine that.
Even the camera was like, oh, do you really want me to pan up on this guy? Any rumors, Rindir?
Do you believe any of that talk about more Oblivion gates opening all over the place?
Nah, it's probably a bunch of baloney. The Imperial City?
My advice is, take your time. Walk around the market district, see what's on offer. Don't buy until you've seen it all. Take your time.
So there's a good point there.
Let's do business.
Let's. He sells some rather awesome staffs here. Or staves. And it brings us to the question of whether or not we want to buy special items. Somebody has been mentioning that I should try to have that as a goal, because all merchants sell at least one piece of overpriced junk that I might want to collect and have in my house. It's an interesting thought. And it might be some sort of sub-goal, but it's not going to be a big official goal. Maybe in the future we want to buy some of them to fill up our house with just for the heck of it. But if we fill too much in one space, either way, we're going to get... There's going to be some issues with the game engine and such, so... I like the idea, I like where you're coming from, but I don't think we're going to do that at this very moment. So, some Grand Soul Gems with Petty Souls. Yeah, they look pretty bad, actually. Let's buy that red silk hood from him, shall we? Boom. Do I want to buy another red silk robe? I might as well just buy one and keep it around in case I want to enchant it in the future. Might be a good investment. Next up, we need to go to the Master Trainer of Mercantile, even though we're not quite at 75 yet, so we can't quite get where we want to get, which is a shame. Hello. Palinira. Does she have the outfit that I'm talking about on display? I can't see it.
You've come to Divine Elegance because you care about what you wear.
Yes.
And Palinira has what you want, or no one has.
Oh, good old Palinira. Tell me about the city.
Anyone can wear clothes, but the right clothes, that's not so easy. Go to any castle, they wear Paliniria's designs, or they're nobody.
Wait, we don't need 75 mercantile, we just need 70.
Training? Well, my dear, good business sense is just something that comes naturally to me. You've got to have the know-how, or else I can't teach you anything at all. Do you have what it takes? Do you even know what it takes?
We don't have what it takes.
Gold, that's what. Septims, and lots of them. Show me that you've got the starting capital. At least 10,000 in liquid assets.
We're gonna need 10k gold on ourselves in order to get training, so I think I better go sell some stuff.
Only quality goods for sale here.
Let's start with her. Now, I don't need to get great price, I'm not gonna buy a lot from her. She sells the Quicksilver boots. Haha, which I'm not gonna get. The red velvet outfit.
Pleasure doing business with you.
That's a nice looking set. I'm also gonna buy the gold trimmed shoes there. And that's it. Thank you. Come again.
Bye.
So we have to go back to her once we have enough money to receive her master training. Even though we're not going to accept it, at least it'll complete the quest. So we now have a hood we want to enchant. We have the boots. Let's stop on by Thorinir's bargain. And we'll see what we can sell to him. And what we can't sell to him, well, we'll have to find ourselves a new merchant. It's a little sad, but Thorinir, your era might not be here for long.
It is good to see you again.
Good old buddy.
Have a look around. You won't...
I won't find better prices in old Cyrodiil. We'll see about that. But I can sell these smaller stuff to him at the very least. Stuff like Dwarven Arrows. Get out of here. Dwarven Bow of Absorb we can't. Dwarven Warhammer, Ebony Arrow. All of these things. Your prices are simply... He needs more gold in his shop. Problem is that the ones with more gold, they are harder to convince. Sell off some of the simpler gear though. I'll show you the red velvet outfit in just a sec. After I've sold what we can sell. Potions in particular are what we want to sell here. A paralysis poison might be just what we want actually, so let's keep that around. Let's do some of the restore luck, restore speed, restore spells in general. I can do without skooma though. Ho ho! We gotta save those for a special occasion. Night Eye can go. Now, the rest of our Nirn roots and a lot of good gear I have left behind in the chest in my house in Breville. So we gotta go there and get them at some point. Can't believe I forgot it, but hey,
a good price.
Sometimes that happens. I think that's a skill book as well. Okay, do you want a secret cell key? You can have it. Skingrad Castle key. You know what? You can have it. Enjoy, buddy. We also want to sell off this Grand Soul Gem here, really. Wait, no, they weren't defiled. Ah! I mixed them up. I thought those were the ones I just bought. Ooh, well, done is done. Doesn't matter. Could buy it back, but screw it. It's fine. We'll have plenty of them either way. Some of these goodies here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Please, return soon.
Hopefully I will. We will see. Now, we need to find a merchant with lots of gold and who's not as stingy. Now, I think Rozan is an expert. So we might want to try to find somebody else. I've been wanting to go and check out the best defense, really, and see how they are at this place. Because we need to find a good mix between money available and bartering skill.
The best defense. That's me, Morrow Rufus. Light armor. The very best.
Light armor is nice, but still not good enough. Tell me about the city, Morrow.
Well, if you must have heavy armor, see Vernado. So heavy, so ugly. But it's your choice.
No, I'm not interested in either.
I can repair almost anything.
Alright, let's repair that then.
Can I interest you in some of my wares?
Let's see, he also only has 800. He's an apprentice, he's Thorinir's level.
Goodbye.
Hey.
I'm Vernado. I handle the heavy armor at the best defense. I'm also an advanced trainer in heavy armor.
We get the
so
camera.
I know what I'm talking about.
Let's see if the camera's gonna pan up eventually. No, we're just gonna stay there. Alright, any rumors?
Hey, you're the one they call the hero of Kvatch, aren't you? The one that closed the Oblivion gate and saved the city.
Oh, that's me. Huh. Is that all? I'm a goddamn hero!
You want light armor? Pah! Why wear fluffy flutter when you can wear real armor? But if you must have light armor, talk to Morrow Rufus. Idiot.
Idiot? That's going a little far.
May I interest you in some of my fine wares?
Damn, look at this. It's so bad though. Fortifying those skills 5 points, and you only ever use blade or blunt, so one of them is then obsolete. It drains your luck, which affects all skills and also your health. Who wants that for 11k? It's absurd. He has 1,000 gold though, and he's a journeyman, so he's more like what we're looking for. Okay. So let's see how far we can push this man right here. Let's start with something absurd like 82%. He wouldn't agree to this, would he?
I can't do that.
Yeah, he's not going to agree to that. So we're going to push it down to 80.
I can't afford to do that.
He's not gonna agree to that. We'll push it down to 77. Okay. Push it up to 78.
A fine transaction.
That's a fine transaction, apparently. 79.
A fine transaction.
Okay, 79 it is. Sell that
You got a
War
great
Axe
deal
of
there.
Absorption. Battlemage gear has to stay. So anything that's
You drive a hard
less than a
bargain.
K now we can sell. Which still isn't a lot. We're too good at this. My prices are just too great, man. Some of these I probably have to settle for selling for less than its full amount, which is a shame, but
Farewell.
sometimes that just has to be done. But right now, I believe let's do a final little trip over to Roseanne at the Fighting Chance. I believe she has 1,200. And I'll just sell off some of this gear here, just so we can have a little bit of money. Because I can't get Fat Isolus for
Welcome to
quite some
I
time.
offer the finest.
Yeah, she's an expert, so... Well, Class Warhammer she can buy for a good price. Let's see, what else? The Boots of the Jewman, they're cool, but we're gonna sell them. Circlet of Omnipotence. I really like this ring. I think I'm gonna keep it around my house. The Fortify Magica Pants, though.
A good price for
They're going.
a good customer.
Ring of the Grey, also such a cool ring. I want to keep that. Riverwalking Boots we're not going to get rid of. Nor Spellbreaker. Here's the Spell Drinker Amulet. Spell Absorption on Self. That's really nice. Look at the design. I want to sell it for the money, but I don't think I should. I kind of want to keep some of these items in my house. I'm hopeless. I'm a hoarder. I realize it, but I just... I can't help it. I'm going to get rid of a couple of lockpicks here.
You drop. That seems
we go.
a fair price.
Keep one. There we go.
Farewell.
Farewell, there we go. Got everything sold? Oh, the clouds are about to burst. So we better run ourselves back to the Arcane University. Actually, this is taking a while. I'm just running along here when suddenly I stop to think, wait, didn't we make a spell just to prevent situations like this? Let's see how useful it can be. Traveler's Grace. I'll need it on something temporarily because I got rid of my other spells, which are usually here. Destruction was here. Restoration was 4. So let's make the travel spell replace the healing spell for now. So Fortify Restoration and Traveler's Grace, everybody. Whee! Here we go, everybody. It's like 9-second effect. It's also pretty good. I mean, travels are not going to be an issue anymore for us. This is like sped up footage. I mean, I understand why they removed the speed stat in Skyrim, but come on, this is hilarious. Plus, I could combine Traveler's Grace with Leap of Faith. Wouldn't that give me some insane stats? Oh man, let me check this out right now. So, our acrobatics is 186, athletics is 158, and my speed stat is 300! Look at this. This is beautiful. This is why I love Oblivion. You can do insane things. They don't limit you. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense, but oh, it's beautiful. It is truly beautiful. Let's go to the Chironasium and make what we want to make, shall we? We'll start by making the hood for our champion set with the red silk hoods. And we're going to get a Grand Soul Gem. Champion, oh boy, what was that key? Champion's hood. That's what we want. We are going to get a fortified strength effect on ourselves. For 1,000. Sounds reasonable. Then we're going to make the champion's necklace, which is going to be a regular gold necklace, I think. Doesn't need to be anything more fancy than that. But it's really going to come in handy, that it is. Champion's necklace. Wonderful. So, if we now equip these as well, with Champion's Blouse, Champion's Garment, Champion's Hood. Doesn't look great, but this is just for getting stuff out. Then we have the Champion's Necklace. We have a natural 525. Now, we can do even more with that if we also go over and pop Lighten Loads, followed by Pack Mule for another 150. which would be a total of like 750 at the very least. So that's fun. Let's make one more item now, because we gotta save one black soul gem. Let's make some battlemage shoes with some more shield effect on them. Perfect for combat. Battlemage shoes. Bam. So if you want to get into our battle mage gear, we can switch to the battlemage shoes. They were right there. So it's weird that I didn't see them. And if we have the ring of protection, we have a natural 45% shield from physical attacks, which is very, very good. So all we really need is to pop a single shield spell, which costs 50 magicka. And boom, we're at the max cap for physical damage reduction with shield, 85%. That's very good. Now, let me show you. Please stop the animation. The red velvet outfit. Look at that. Isn't that just really, really cool? I love the look of this outfit, and it's probably going to be Marina's just casual wear. So I kind of wonder if I just want to do a quick enchant on it. Something very simple, like maybe wearing this would fortify my personality, for example. Just a little bit of a boost here. Doesn't need to be great or strong. It's not even going to be an effect that's going to be in use a lot. Let's see, we're just going to call it Marina's outfit. It's going to be like our casual outfit. Boom. Oh, no, I'm naked. Oh, no. Look at that. Our personality is going to be through the roof when we're wearing that. I am liking that. Okay, well, let's go back to our battle mage outfit and get ready for battle. With our... What was the amulet that we usually had? Well, we can have the champion's necklace, I guess. The ring of protection looks good. Okay, well then, we have new spells, which enhance our abilities to insane levels. We have new gear, which makes it clear that we have two sets, one for combat, one for traveling. It's got that nice looking casual attire. Cleaning up our spell list, doing some selling, making some money. I had 10k, I could have gotten that training. Passed up on that, it seems. Does that matter? Not at all. Let's see. Hey, you guys seen
Hey
Orlav?
there. How are things?
There's Hannibal Traven. You see, things have been a little bit more tense since he was named Archmage. Hey, Orlav.
You're about Vatican, are you? It's a damn shame. I haven't been giving the project the attention it deserves. The last report I received from Cyrodiil indicated there was some sort of problem, a blocked passage or something that they couldn't get past. I'd investigate it further, but I'm needed here with the council. Ramanis says you've got a good head on your shoulders. Look into it for me, will you? You can find Cyrodiil at the site. Access is restricted, so you'll need this key.
Okay. Alright, who's Cyrodiil?
She's the mage heading up the on-site research. She can tell you more about whatever it is that's impeding their progress.
Just don't turn around right now, cause you got some terrifying eyes right behind you. Tell me about Vatican.
It's an Ayleid ruin southwest of Cheydinhall. We suspect that there are some interesting things inside, so a research project was established. Cyrodiil is there now, working on investigating the ruins.
I'll go check it out. Any rumors, though?
Some say that Traven is misusing the power of the Archmage's position to further his personal agendas.
I'm sure they say that. The city?
You know, of course, the Imperial Palace is Ayleid. White Gold Tower, they called it back in the Middle Merethic, when the Aldmeri ruled Tamriel.
Little history lesson there.
I eagerly await your return.
But we already heard that from Umbacano, who's a character who actually also appears in The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Hey, Hager. Aren't you the one who struggled with, like, buying clothes in stores or something? There was something weird about you. What is wrong with the high elf? Oh, wait, you're a dark elf. What is wrong with the elves in this place? Well, then. He's like, what should I have for dinner? We have our next mission right now. So here's how I was thinking that we go about doing it right now. we are headed east to Varaken, which is a cave. I thought it was going to be an Ayleid ruin. I think it is as well, but what is it? Okay, I guess it just has a cave symbol. And on the way, we can actually pass by, I believe in this area, the Shrine of Vermina. We can do her quest as well, which is in the area. After that, we can go back to Shadenhall, do some Dark Brotherhood stuff, and... oh, I am so happy to be back playing Oblivion, and I hope you've enjoyed episode 91. And of course, I hope that you will tune in to the next episode. Have a still good day, take care, and stay awesome. But most importantly, everybody... stay dark. Goodbye.